Sitting at the splendid convergence of the Rhône and Saône rivers, Lyon boasts a long and rich history, lovely scenery, and unique landscapes. The historic centre is in a type of peninsula, presqu'île, formed by the merging of the rivers, and home to the largest public square in France. Lyon is a city rich in history, from Roman times to the Resistance. It's also renowned for its gastronomy. Lyon offers a clear view of the different periods in its history and has therefore been registered as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. In addition to its Romanesque and religious heritage, the city's various districts are dotted throughout with many magnificent monuments. Down through the cultures, Lyon has been beautified by many renowned architects. From the Roman theatre of Fourvière to the Site International, International Centre, Lyon is like a history book that can easily be read simply by taking a look at its monuments. Two big rivers converge in Lyon. The smallest one is the Saône River. The biggest is the Rhône. To the west of the Saône River sits Vieux-Lyon and the Fourvière Hill. Between the two rivers is the centre-ville with the old Terron neighborhood. From this side of the river, there's a great view of the Saint-Jean Cathedral. Since the 16th century, Lyon's cuisine has delighted many a customer in its bouchon bistros and its finest restaurants. These palate pleasers will never disappoint, and the traditional tastes remain intact. Lyon's cuisine owes its virtuosity first of all to the quality of local produce. The farms of the Bresse and Châteaulet regions, the wild game of the Dôme, the fish from the Savoy lakes, the fruits and vegetables of the Rhône Valley and the Forez region are all within easy reach and supply the essential ingredients for Lyon's famed cuisine. Place des Terreaux is considered the center of the town. Several bars and cafes give life to this square. The square was built in the 17th century to host the public executions and a pig trade market. Recently, the square's been renovated and 69 mini water and light fountains were added. The town hall building was constructed between 1646 and 1672 by Simon Maupin, the city's architect. Once completed, the Place des Terreaux quickly became Lyon's administrative center. This city hall monument is set up around 2 courtyards and 4 pavilions. Today, Hôtel de Ville welcomes the city's council 10 times throughout the year, and its doors are open to the general public only on certain celebrated heritage days. The interior decorations were redone during the Second Empire. Though the original structure follows a Louis XIII plan, the renovation work of the late 17th century gave it new amplitude by adding a level to the middle section, punctuated by bay windows and topped with a balustrade and statues. Sculptured pediments and domes embellished the pavilions. The great staircase linking the atrium to the halls on the upper floor is the centerpiece of the design, with its remarkably decorated vaulted ceiling. L'éternité de la gloire de Lyon, the eternal glory of Lyon. The belfry of the City Hall contains 4 bells, 3 of which are the originals cast in 1675 by the Lyon ironmaster Dupont. The Fourvière and Saint-Just districts are part of the area classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1998. In 1643, Lyon chose the Virgin Mary as its patron saint, and later made good on its vow to honor her by building the Fourvière Basilica in 1896. The strange and massive silhouette with its 4 octagonal towers dominates the city and inspired its nickname, the Upside-Down Elephant. The style of the basilica is an extreme example of 19th century eclecticism. A visit takes us through the different influences of the centuries, from the neo-Gothic north facade to the exuberant interior decor and mosaics, which remind us of symbolist paintings, to the neoclassical ceiling of the porch. The floral friezes of the base are inspired by the Art Nouveau period, and the enormous bronze doors recall antiquity. The basilica was built in a very eclectic style, austere exterior and luxuriously decorated interior. Must-see features are the mosaics and stained glass windows. One must also visit the Saint Joseph crypt. Fourvière is one of the busiest sanctuaries and tourist sites in France. Fourvière Basilica is a typical example of 19th century religious architecture. It's on Fourvière Hill that you'll find vestiges of the Roman city in an archaeological site covering a vast area. An archaeological park encompasses a large portion of the site. Starting in the 6th and especially the 7th century, numerous religious congregations began setting up edifices on the slopes of Fourvière, hence its reputation as the Praying Hill. The district still bears evidence of the strong presence of the religious orders. It seems they didn't know what to do with gold when it was built, because from floor to ceiling you can find gilded decorations everywhere in this basilica. The relatively austere exterior houses a surprisingly ornate interior. In addition to several mosaics and stained glass windows, there's a fine collection of 19th century Byzantine art. The Teatro Romano, a Roman theatre Odeum temple complex, is in a park south of the basilica in Lyon. Lyon's Roman theatre is the oldest in France, built by order of Augustus from 17 to 15 BC and expanded during the reign of Hadrian. The Odeum, reserved for musical performances, was once sumptuously decorated. Its orchestra floor still contains mosaics of marble and porphyry. The third building was a temple dedicated in 160 AD to the goddess Cybele, or Sibylla. Only the building's foundations remain. Though the first traces of human presence date back to the Iron Age, the founding of Lyon was given by a Roman legate on October the 9th in the year 43 BC. In keeping with imperial design, the city quickly assumed the position of political, economic, military and religious capital of the three Gauls. At the meeting point of the Saône and Rhône rivers, Lugdunum, as Lyon was then known, developed first on Fourvière Hill, where a forum, theatre, temple of Cybele, Odeum and public baths were erected. It's in Vieux-Lyon that the tour of the Traboules is the most astounding. This 24-hectare district was the first in France to be protected and is now classified with the World Heritage of UNESCO. The history of Lyon, known at the time as Lugdunum, meaning the Hill of Light or the Hill of Crows, began under the Romans in the 1st century BC, when the city was proclaimed capital of the three Gauls. This official status brought political, economic, military and religious development to the city. This period of preeminence lasted for 3 centuries, but didn't survive the downfall of the Roman Empire. A long period of upheaval possessed the city until the Church gave it new impetus by declaring Lyon the seat of the Primate of Gaul in the 11th century. In the 15th and 16th centuries, the growth and prestige of Lyon was unrivaled. Trade was booming, with 2 and later 4 annual free fairs. The arrival of large foreign banking houses made Lyon one of Europe's great trading and banking centres. The Renaissance era saw Lyon's influence spread across Europe. The French Revolution in 1789 brought a brutal halt to expansion, but development was revitalized under the Napoleonic Empire. Lyon became an industrial city and pursued its urban development with a distinct preference for the houseman style prevalent at the time. Urban development continued to expand and change the face of the city. New construction work continued to change the cityscape. The Opera House, the Courthouse, the Stock Exchange, and the laying of 2 large boulevards. The Prefecture and the Fourvière Basilica were built at this time, as was the Lumière family home, now the Lumière Institute, where in 1895 one of the world's most important entertainment activities was invented: motion pictures. With its discreet prosperity held by family-run businesses, Lyon moved calmly into the 20th century. The face of Lyon changed from the time of the Renaissance. The basis of its fortune and the composition of its activities were no longer the same. The heritage of the past was not lost, but the great trading and banking capital had become a manufacturing city, a city of silk makers and merchants, and the popular mass of weavers. Lyon had become the second largest city in the kingdom after Paris. The center of influence shifted to the peninsula, and the city built some of its most prestigious monuments in this period. The new city hall, built by Simon Maupin, the convent palace on Place de Terreau, now the Museum of Fine Arts, and the Hospital de la Charité, which was later destroyed. The Cathédrale Saint-Jean, St. John's Cathedral, is the cathedral of the Archbishop of Lyon, who holds the impressive title Primate of the Gauls, and is the leading Archbishop of France. The Archdiocese of Lyon dates to Roman times, but Lyon's present cathedral was built between the 12th and 15th centuries. The Cathédrale Saint-Jean was built over several centuries, from 1180 to 1480, in the Romanesque and Gothic styles. The apse is Romanesque, but construction on the whole continued over 3 centuries. The wing of the cathedral that houses the treasury is noted for the beauty and severe dignity of its 12th century Romanesque facade. Its origins date to the 11th century, when it was established as a choir school. In 1600, King Henry IV came to Lyon to meet his Italian fiancée, Marie de Medici, en route from Marseille. He took one look at her, approved of what he saw, and they were married immediately in this cathedral. From the outside, the Cathédrale Saint-Jean appears solid and determined, having withstood the sieges of time, revolution and war. Its apse is a masterpiece of Lyonnais Romanesque architecture,